everybody, and welcome back to Very Biased Opinions for finally having a full round of Premier League games to talk about. Well, cross your fingers. So far it is a full round anyway. Before we jump into all of this, we are going to very quickly throw it over to Thomas, who's going to give us the comment of what would be the midweek.
Comment on midweek is Shane O'Donnell. He got the Everton versus Wolves score correct. He also had Man United to win. A couple other people have done that. Really quick shout out to Nathan Heaver, who also got the Everton score correct. But we're giving this week's comment to Shane O'Donnell. He also had the Man United win.
Super Shane O'Donnell, I think he's called. Fantastic stuff, Shane. Well done. I think you, instead of calling it Very Biased Opinions this week, it should be Very Bold Opinions, because these results and predictions will shock and awe, especially when we get round to the ultra special main event. But without further ado, Thomas, hit me with the first game, which may or may not be taking place.
Aston Villa versus Everton.
Now, I'm not a scientist, but you are a scientist.
Yes.
What are the chances of this game being played?
I would say slim to none, Ian. I don't see it happening, especially with the way it's been called off and the fact they played their under-23s and their under-18s in the last game. We're going to give a prediction for it, but I think we will...
I have two questions in that way to ask you. Because obviously Everton have had a good win over Wolves. Well done to them. They just carry on being pretty solid and pretty good. Very good under Ancelotti. Not much more to say on that one. But should Villa give this one up as a forfeit?
No, they should
not. Should Villa be kicked out of the league?
Yes, they should.
Where do Aston Villa play?
Hull?
Nobody knows. Birmingham, but where the hell is Birmingham? Anyway, I think that if this game is played, I think it will be a draw. I think this will be a 1-1 draw.
Well, I can't take the same score as you, so I'll go with 2-2.
You can. Fulham versus Chelsea.
Is this a good old London derby?
It's a good old London derby. Jelly deals and all.
Scott Parker's thrown his toys out the pram over the fact that Fulham are going to have to play Spurs. And Jose Mourinho's comment to that is, you cancelled the last game with 2 hours notice, so I don't care. I thought that was quite funny. Scott Parker's not taken that very well. We don't know what's going to happen in that, but we kind of assume Spurs are going to get a win. Fulham are starting to look like they could chase down Brighton. We have not seen Brighton play good football, and Fulham are only 3 points behind him now. Ian, Chelsea got a win. Havertz scored. Werner scored against high-class opposition.
Yes, very much so. Yes, they looked. Yeah, it didn't look great to start the game. They got the job done, and so you can't knock it or anything like that. But they didn't look great, Havertz or Werner, until they did actually combine for the second goal. You were desperate to talk about Chelsea last time we did predictions, Tom. Have you got much to add, or much to slag them off about?
No, I think they're going to win this game easily. I think they're going to win 3-0.
Okay, so my question is this game going to go ahead?
Yes.
Okay, that's the last question. I think Chelsea will also get back to winning ways in this one. I don't think they'll score 3, though. I think it'll be 2-1 Chelsea.
Ooh,
hey, there's a lot of people slagging off Mendy now.
Oh, what, for bringing a girl over from wherever it is?
I didn't even know about that. No,
Chelsea, the goalkeeper.
Who obviously looked great when he first came over, and then a few bad games, and all of a sudden he's looking as shaky as Kepa. But if you watch that FA Cup game, he is not looking as shaky as Kepa. But
no one is as shaky as Kepa.
I can't believe people have turned on him so quickly.
I don't know why you would. I mean, honestly, anyone was better than Kepa. They look so much stronger. They concede so many less goals. They're
nuts.
Beyond me, mate. Wolverhampton Wanderers versus West Bromwich Albion.
Is this must win for Big Sam?
I feel like every game is must win for Big Sam, but yeah, they need to get a result. They look terrible. Going out in the FA Cup as well was just a freaking another nail in their coffin. They look cut adrift. They don't look like they're playing very good football.
Awful. They've actually taken 2 hammerings in the last couple of games.
Yeah, I don't think Big Sam really realized what he was getting himself into, and I don't think West Brom made the progressive decision to to get rid of Bilic and not bring someone in who's definitely going to be there next year and build a team. So I think they're going to lose this. Wolves lost to Everton today. Still looking a bit hopeless up front, aren't they?
It's a bit of a Wolves performance of late, though, isn't it? Like, at times they were decent, at times they did well to get back into the game. But ultimately, rather than last season, they used to find ways to win these games. They're finding ways to throw these matches away, like, for example, the Brighton game before as well. So, tough time for Wolves. And this one, I don't think this one's going to be high scoring at all. I think this one will be very, very dull. And Sam Allardyce's new tactic to avoid relegation is, I want the league cancelled because it's dangerous.
The logic.
Is my Hail Mary pass. 1-0 Wolves.
Yeah. I'll go 2-0 just to be different than you, but...
Who's going to score? Who's going to score? I know who's going to score.
I think Crotone is going to get on the pitch and score.
Connor Cody.
Cool, him as well. Jimenez?
Jimenez as well?
Yes.
Yes. Wow. Leeds United versus Brighton Hove and Albion.
I can't wait to watch a Leeds United football match and just hear them talk about the FA Cup, the Crawley Town result, as if that is like all that Leeds are. It's going to be good. I think this Brighton team are going to come off the back of a hiding personally against City. I don't know what you think.
It could be it will be a hiding in terms of they will run around and chase shadows for 90 minutes. I'm not sure it'll be a hiding in terms of the scoreline.
I watched the entire Brighton FA Cup game. They played pretty much their first team. It was diabolically bad. I know everyone's looking at Luke Steele in goal and being like, he saved some penalties. He was terrible in that match. The goal they conceded, it was Kepa-esque. He comes out for the ball and then pulls back at the last second and then punches and the ball just goes straight past him. It's terrible.
Did Brighton play Welbeck in that game?
No. He's injured or has corona or one of those many things.
He's not injured. He never gets injured.
Brighton looks so poor going forward. I mean, against a team they should have created tons of chances against, they just could not find open opportunities. And as open as Leeds are, the only way Brighton are going to score is if they get the ball on Lewis Dunk's head, because that was the only time Brighton really threatened.
Leeds are a bit wounded, though. They are coming off a shock of all shocks to Crawley Town. Don't underplay it. They lost to a League Two side.
I don't think they feel like when they lost 6-0 to Man United, they went out in the next game and it was like the previous match hadn't even happened. I don't think they're going to be affected by it at all. I don't think they
Bielsa bias. They lost to a League Two side. It's fucking terrible.
Yeah, well, Kiko Casilla or whatever is clearly a League Two goalkeeper because he was awful in that game.
I'm not having that.
Near post.
Yes, this one will be open, and I think that might actually help Brighton. I don't know why. I feel this one. I'm going to back Leeds because it's the honourable thing to do. And I'm not going to let you go first because I think I went first last.
3-1 Leeds.
I am going to go for 2-1 to Leeds.
West Ham United versus Burnley FC.
Battle of the Claret and Blue armies here. West Ham were not good at all against Stockport in an absolute quagmire, giggity, of a pitch. It was horrific. But they got the job done. Solanchu just is a goal machine, isn't he? He doesn't stop.
Oh, it's unreal, isn't it?
And he comes off the bench. They look like they couldn't hit a barn door. He comes on the pitch straight away, goal. Burnley also got out of jail against forget who, MK Dons in the cup.
Was it Vidra late goal and then penalties? Was it penalties?
It was penalties, but we have and it's just a lack of goals with Burnley. We saw it in the Man United game that we've just witnessed today, which did have its bizarre decisions.
Did Man United play today?
They did, Thomas. They did, but hush, because we'll get to that later on. But Burnley did lose 1-0 to Man U. I was not impressed with the way Burnley played. I thought Man United were completely comfortable until they went 1-0 up, and then Burnley decided they'd have a go after that point, which I think they're a better side than that, to be honest. I don't think they need to be trying for 0-0 draws against Man United from minute dot. But they just can't score, and that's their biggest problem. They're extremely well organised, but they can't stick the ball in the back of the net. And I could see this one being a bit of a dirty 0-0.
I am going to go 1-0 to the Hammers, but let me state that I don't think I've correctly predicted a West Ham game this season. So on my 19th try, I'd really like them to finally get the results I'm predicting.
They are extremely difficult to predict.
Ugh. Garbage.
Leicester City versus Southampton.
Will Leicester win the Premier League this year?
I can categorically reveal that they will not win the Premier League this season, but I'm going to throw it back to you. Will Southampton win the Premier League this season?
I believe that there is no chance that Southampton win the league this year.
Hear me out. To be the man, you've got to beat the man. Liverpool are champions. Southampton have just beaten Liverpool. Therefore, are they not the new title holders?
It's like when Scotland beat England after they won the World Cup and they claimed unofficial World Cup champions. That's how it works. That's how it works. All you have to do is beat the champions and you become champion. It's like a boxing match. You lose the belt and it's given to the victor.
I was thinking more of a wrestling match.
Ugh. Always you in wrestling. Which one's Hulk Hogan?
Oh god, it's a difficult one, isn't it? It's not really a Hulk Hogan kind of a match. Man United Burnley was like a Hulk. Man United would be, if you're talking Burnley Man United, then Man United would be Hulk Hogan in that one.
Yeah.
They take some punishment, but then rise to victory at the end.
All right, enough of this. Both of these teams have been really exciting this year. Both of them are on relatively good runs. I don't think they. Southampton obviously just beat Liverpool. Sorry to blurt through words. And Leicester beat Newcastle. Neither of them play in the midweek. I think it's going to be a really open game. I think it's a really good game. I think Leicester are going to edge it 2-1.
I'm going for Southampton. I think that Leicester's home form is pretty poor, and I'm only laughing because Tom has read my mind with what the score's going to be. I'm going to go for the reverse of your score, Thomas, and I'm going to go for Leicester 1, Southampton 2.
Honestly, total shock. No idea that was coming. Don't know what to do with it.
Hey. Speaking of shocks, lead us into the next one.
No longer winless Sheffield United versus Jose's Tottenham Hotspur.
Chrissy Wilder's back, folks. Chrissy Wilder is back. He oversaw. I'm going to call that a masterclass of a victory against Newcastle United. A masterclass.
Lord help me.
That is.
Lord help me.
Jokes aside, I am actually really pleased that they have actually got the win. I think it was getting a bit beyond any sort of funniness, and it was, I guess, getting pretty pitiful. If I must
getting
say.
ugly.
But they won in the FA Cup. They did beat Newcastle. It was 10-man Newcastle. They finally found the net with Billy Sharp penalty, and they just about rode it home. Just about.
They did try and score an own
their best
goal.
to try and mess it up. Look at this. Have a look at the calamitous own goal they nearly scored at the end of the game. But they did. And now they come up against Jose's Tottenham, Thomas, who had a difficult time at Marine, I believe.
Yes. It was very, very hard 6 different times.
Well, it didn't help with Joe Hart literally tried to give him a 1-0 lead.
That was absolutely hilarious. Just really quickly, and I know you agree on most of this stuff, but the commentary in that game was just dire. They were acting like Marine were the greatest footballing side in history, and every time Spurs scored, they're like, it's a fantastic goal. It's fantastic. It's so good. It's so good the way that, and you're like, mate, this it's like a bunch of 12-year-olds. Anyway, look, they won. It was 6-0. They looked really good. They won the last match we saw them in the league. They just took Leeds apart 3-0. It was a pretty routine victory for them. I think we both expect them to beat Fulham tomorrow, which I suppose is today because this is probably coming out tomorrow. I think Spurs will win this, Ian, and I think Spurs will. I'll let you go first though, because I went first last time.
I just don't see Sheffield United scoring, and I think Spurs will run out. I'm probably going to nick your score here, so I apologise. It's going to be a Jose, isn't it?
2-0. I'll go 3-0 just to not copy.
We don't normally. Let's just do this the same way. Thomas, relax. The Eagles are coming because it's Manchester City versus Crystal Palace.
Well, City are playing Brighton. We both expect them to beat them. City won pretty easily. Fantastic Bernardo Silva volley kind of capped off their FA Cup win. I don't know. Did Crystal Palace play in the FA Cup?
Did they play? They did. They went out to Wolves.
Okay, so less said about that, the better. Palace are in midweek action as well against Arsenal. We both have the exact same score, particularly a 3-1 win in that. I don't know which Palace side is going to turn up, and I think it's, as you, I think, will agree, dangerous to predict anything from that side.
Absolutely. Man City's win in the FA Cup over Birmingham was literally like a bully holding its hand over a little kid's head, and it's like furiously swinging underneath, can't lay it down.
I'm going to get you!
Yes, it was like a perfect win for Guardiola, where they got goals early and they could just coast over the line.
Yeah.
You would expect Man City to win this. The only thing I think about this fixture is Andros Townsend's wonder strike a couple of seasons ago.
Yeah.
And Palace do have this ability to win these games that you're not expecting them to win.
Yeah.
But you can't back that. You can't, can you? You wouldn't.
No. I also think that, normally when City come a cropper, they're on some ridiculous 10 or 11 game unbeaten run and they're sensational. And as much as they've won a lot recently, and they just don't strike me as falling apart in this game. I can't see it. I'm going to go first in this. And honestly, I think this is going to be a hiding because Palace have offered very little in the bigger games they've played this year. 3-0 to City.
Yeah, it seems like the logical scoreline, doesn't it? I mean, the only thing I would just say is we haven't seen City go a goal behind in quite a while. So it'll be interesting to see how they respond to going a goal down in a game.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. That's possibly the only talking point I can think of, because generally they've been superb. And I hate to do it, but 8th game in, I am going to have to copy. No, I'm not. Right, all right, I won't. I'm going to say it's old school Man City, 4-0.
It looks like Aguero is going to be back for this game as well. He's been isolating due to coming into contact with someone that had COVID, but apparently has returned 2 negative tests, but still, due to Premier League protocol, is not allowed to play in the FA Cup match. He may play against Brighton. I feel like we're definitely going to see him against Palace, though.
Well, just because he can play, it doesn't mean Guardiola's going to play him. Seems like that's the last thing he wants to do this season.
He does hate strikers. This is literally the Barcelona thing at the end all over again. We're going to play Messi as a false 9. I've got 8 midfielders. I'm playing directly.
Why is the voice? Why is he Donald Trump?
I'm sorry. I have to apologize to Pep Guardiola. That was ridiculous.
Oh, poor.
Should I go?
Oh, no, you can stick around because this one's a rerun of the FA Cup 3rd round. Arsenal versus Newcastle. What have we done to deserve this one again?
I'm done with them. Newcastle, you're in the fucking corner. We're not talking about you. We're not dignifying you with anything. The loss today, no. No and no. I'm done with you. Arsenal, play football.
Hey.
I can't talk about them.
That could be it for Bruce, though, would you think?
I think we're getting pretty close at this point. The fans are
got to be pissed off with that one. And FA Cup, I know they'll highlight those couple of chances they had at the end against Arsenal, but his game plan was basically, let's just try and nick it late. And you're not playing like Barcelona. You're not like Oxford playing Man City here, who, by the way, would put up more of a fight than Newcastle did. You're playing a side in the same league. You could literally go out and maybe try to beat them. Is that such a foreign concept?
Yeah. Or just it feels like they have these. The commentators were accusing them of not having the work rate, but they have players like Almiron and the Longstaff brothers and Joe Linton, and for all Joe Linton's flaws, he keeps running. They have players to move the ball from back to front. They just don't do it.
I reckon if you saw, and this is really random shout, if you saw a manager like House and Hootle manage Newcastle, I reckon you would see pretty similar results from them of what you've seen at Southampton, because they've got some fucking good players, and Bruce just does not know how to play anything other than let's try and nick it 1-0.
But they have such a strong defense. It's already the bedrock of the team is Darlow and what's his face? It's not Krul. Is it Krul? No.
Oh, it's Dubravka.
Darlow and Dubravka are both genuinely pretty much world-class goalkeepers right now. Like, they're both having sensational games.
Yeah.
You have a good defense in front of them already. Why are you making everyone else defend as well? Like, you can attack if you have a good defense. That's the point.
Carl Darlow, if you're not a fan of Very Biased Opinions, you should be, because I think that's the first time you've ever been called world class.
He's been great this year.
He has been. Oh no, he has been great. I'm just saying a little silly joke there.
You're not funny.
Shut up. I try. All right, I try. It's not easy for me. You know, Arsenal are going to win this one again, aren't they? They're gonna be a damn sight better than they were in that FA Cup game. I think it is going to be. I'll tell you what, a player I hate at Arsenal. Get rid of Nick. You got rid of Ozil. Now we'll get rid of Nicolas Pepe. You don't need him. Arsenal will win 2-0.
2-0, mate. It's 4-0 to the Arsenal. They're gonna gun them down, Ian.
Gunners. Thomas, I love the fact you're back in Arsenal. That has got to hurt you a little bit.
Third straight match I backed Arsenal. Something's wrong.
I tell you, he is a fan. Barcelona, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Borussia Dortmund, Oxford United, Swindon Town. This one ranks along the echelons of those fine games. It is time for the biggest game of the season. It is time for the main event.
Knocked back off their perch into second place Liverpool against top of the table Manchester United. No, just go ahead.
For the first time in Premier League history, Manchester United are top of the Premier League and look absolutely nailed on to win the first Premier League title in their history. To tell you more about it and to tell you more about their fantastic manager is our resident expert Manchester United fan, Thomas Big.
Well, so Man United won again. They just beat Burnley 1-0. Paul Pogba with a good volley. I think it did take a slight deflection though, didn't it, Ian?
Slight as in it would never have gone in without it. Yes. Slight.
Yes, it's possible. But they were.
I feel Man United deserved it because they were on the wrong end of some decisions.
Yeah, I don't think anyone understands. Like more than the Luke Shaw incident, I don't think anyone understands how Harry Maguire's goal has been chalked back. They had Leon. I was listening on 5 Live, and they had Leon Osman and whoever the color commentator is for that. And Leon Osman was just like, but he hasn't jumped. The bloke in front of him hasn't jumped. Where are his arms supposed to go other than to touch him? He hasn't jumped.
I would say it was an offensive foul in the NBA.
5-yard penalty?
Yes.
It
was a pathetic decision, and why can't VAR overrule that?
Right, let's not get into VAR right now because we'll be here all day, and I can't listen to the BBC talk about it anymore, so I'm not going to. But United were good. They didn't stop pressing. They tried really hard. Bruno Fernandes found himself in some really nice pockets of space. I think they did a really good job not playing him in the FA Cup. I'm really happy Solskjaer didn't play him because he normally runs him into the ground. He actually rotated quite a lot of his team for the FA Cup, which gave Man United the chance to put out a good team against Burnley and come into a game against Liverpool on Sunday, top of the league. They're flying. Honestly, they're flying. Harry Maguire right now actually looks like a decent centre-back. There are a couple chances at the end of that match, obviously, but, I mean, Burnley are huge. This is what they do at the end of a game. Like, if they can pin you in, it's what's going to happen. But they rode it. No one's really out of form right now at Man United either. Like, it feels like everyone is going well.
If you're only beating Burnley 1-0, you just know you've got to face up to a barrage for the last 5 minutes because it is just going to be balls pumped into your box. And they stood up to it pretty well, I thought.
And I think also they had a couple chances to score at the end that they just bluffed their lines. Rashford really
can't hit a fucking barn door. So.
Yeah, and Rashford had a pretty poor game. It's like 3 or 4 in a row from him now where you're kind of wondering what's going on. But again, you and I have spoken about this ad nauseum. He also has the ability to, volley the ball in from 30 yards out.
I think he should spend less time trying to feed kids and more time trying to score goals.
I think most of the country would agree with you right now, Ian.
Yeah. Those kids will be more nourished by his goals.
Right, talk about Liverpool quickly.
Demonetized. Hang it up, YouTube. You can't hide away from the fact that they're struggling. Klopp was forced to play a full-strength side against Villa Kids, and they laboured their way to a win. They got the goals at the end, but they did labour their way to a win. And generally, they have been pretty poor. Not to the fact that their players aren't still great, because obviously they are, but they're not as playing with the same level they did last season. They're not getting the rub of the green that they got last season, and sides don't seem to have the fear factor of playing Liverpool like they did last season. You do wonder how long likes of Mane and Salah can go on being pretty toothless in front of goal, because you know they are exceptional. They are missing, the one player they are missing is Jota, who's been a beacon of shining light for them this season, and he's been sorely missed from their side. But this game doesn't need any motivation, because this game's freaking huge, and I would expect a snarling Liverpool side to go absolutely at Man United from the off in this one.
I mean, obviously, I'm predicting Man United victory, but if and when that happens, I cannot wait to hear Jurgen Klopp's interview, because that guy could complain about the sun coming out, a nice breeze, and a picnic on the beach. Like, he would find something wrong with it, because he is driving me up the wall this year. Like, they were top of the league until literally 20 minutes ago, and yet he has complained game in, game out. And I've never wanted to beat Liverpool more than just to see him lose his shit post game.
And I think Man United have got a good chance, because I do think that Liverpool are Liverpool going to be able to cope with Man United defensively. That's where the weakness is in this Liverpool side at the moment. Have you said your score?
No, you go first, because you will not pick mine.
Do you know what? I'm really sorry, and I'm really, really sorry.
Okay. I know it's coming.
I'm just going to say it. I want Man United to win this game. I do want Man United to win this game. I will enjoy seeing how giddy with delight you will be, dancing around like a little glee schoolgirl if Man United win this one. But I am going to go with Liverpool. I'm going to go with a Liverpool 2-1 win.
You're flawed. I want a new YouTube partner, and you cannot be trusted. Man United are going to inflict Liverpool's worst loss in the last couple of years. This is going to be a hiding. Man United are going to bound 4 goals past them. It's going to be 4-1.
Love it. Not only is that going to look good on a thumbnail, but also you should be happy, because if that is the case, it means that you will get points off me in Premier League predictions in our head-to-head.
Yeah, it's about time as well, for being totally honest. It is about
You're winning overall.
But I don't think I've won a round in like 2, so, you know. Thank you, all of you who have watched this. Please like, please subscribe, please talk to your friends about this. Have a look below. We're an Amazon affiliate. Have a look. The chapters feature obviously is there. Have a look at our cards. Have a look at the end screen. Tell us what you think. Comment. Get involved. And Ian, parting words.
I have none. Just come on, you Reds.